What if I told you that the simple act of observing something could completely change the outcome where you're looking at? So what do I mean by this? Scientists discovered this mind-bending truth in a quantum physics experiment. And when I applied this same principle to my daily life, my whole perspective changed. And therefore, let me show you how a laboratory discovery about particles became the key to reshaping my entire reality. So let's look at the double slit experiment for a short moment.
The infamous double slit experiment. To understand this experiment, we first need to see how particles, or little balls of matter, act. If we randomly shoot a small object, say a marble, at the screen, we see a pattern on the back wall where they went through the slit and hit. Now, if we add a second slit, we would expect to see a second band duplicated to the right. Now, let's look at waves. The waves hit the slit and radiate out, striking the back wall with the most intensity directly in line with the slit. The line of brightness on the back screen shows that intensity. This is similar to the line the marbles make. But when we add the second slit, something different happens. If the top of one wave meets the bottom of another wave, they cancel each other out. So now there is an interference pattern on the back wall. Places where the two tops meet are the highest intensity, the bright lines, and where they cancel, there is nothing. So, when we throw things, that is, matter, through two slits, we get this, two bands of hits. And with waves, we get an interference pattern of many bands. Good so far. Now, let's go quantum. An electron is a tiny, tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, a single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marbles, two bands. What? An interference pattern. We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter through. But we get a pattern like waves, not like little marbles. How? How could pieces of matter create an interference pattern like a wave? It doesn't make sense. But physicists are clever. They thought, maybe those little balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So, they decide to shoot electrons through one at a time. There is no way they could interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern is seen to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it's even stranger. It goes through both slits and it goes through neither. And it goes through just one and it goes through just the other. All of these possibilities are in superposition with each other. But physicists were completely baffled by this. So they decided to peek and see which slit it actually goes through. They put a measuring device by one slit to see which one it went through and let it fly. But the quantum world is far more mysterious than they could have imagined. When they observed, the electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of two bands, not an interference pattern of many. The very act of measuring or observing which slit it went through meant it only went through one, not both. The electron decided to act differently, as though it was aware it was being watched. And it was here that physicists stepped forever into the strange, never world of quantum events. What is matter? Marbles or waves? And waves of what? And what does an observer have to do with any of this? The observer collapsed the wave function simply by observing.
So how is it possible that they are doing the exact same experiment, the only change is the detector, and when they start using the detector, the outcome is completely different? The particles somehow knew they were being watched and behaved differently, but when they were unobserved, they act like mysterious waves going through both slits. It's as if reality itself has two modes. You are essentially selecting which experience you are experiencing right now. Think of your beliefs and expectations as a quantum GPS system. If you set your destination to problems and drama, for example, your consciousness will navigate toward experiences full of conflict. But when you set your destination to opportunities and abundance, you quantum jump toward realities where those possibilities exist. So if you become aware of your attention, if you become aware of your focus, where you focus on, just like the split experiment, you can so influence the outcome. So manifestation isn't about magically creating something new. It's about learning to tune your consciousness to the frequency of timelines where what you want already exists. Your beliefs, your expectations, and your attention determine which experience you keep jumping into. And maybe what we call luck or what we call manifestation is just people who have learned to constantly experience better timelines through their consciousness and the choices they make in their life. So what do you expect to see? Are you always looking to critical and negative situations, or do you choose to have your attention and to choose the positive, more high frequencies? All the scenarios already exist. The bad one, the good one, it's your choice. And of course, this is also just one interpretation among many other possibilities. Who knows? But you couldn't deny it's a fascinating one, right? And if you really think about it, really think about it, this one thing could maybe mean the difference between a happy life or an unhappy life. Our brains work like an algorithm. The things we subscribe to, the things we pay attention to, where we have our focus on, is what we see more of. And the more you watch it, the more you get back of this into your algorithm, into your life. So if everything is possible, what do you give your attention to? So let's make this more practical. When we apply this to manifestation, it's not about wishing harder or thinking positive thoughts, while secretly, subconsciously, you are doubting what you are thinking about. No, it's more about becoming a master observer of your own reality, of your own thoughts. You have to pay attention to your thoughts, to your own feelings, to your emotions. And here's what this actually looks like. You literally tune your attention to the frequency where abundance already exists. You are not creating anything new. You are selecting which version of reality you want to experience. Every moment, you are either quantum jumping to what you want or to what you fear, based on where you place your conscious attention. So manifestation is a skill. It's not magic. If you learn to influence your experience by choosing where to focus your attention, your world will change. So your consciousness is the detector in the double slit experiment. And your focus and your attention is the choice you make. And your reality is the result of where you place your energy, where you place your attention. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Love you all and see you in the next video.